Hello, beautiful witches. This is Dawn. I hope you are well. Thank you so much for being here with me. I'm going to talk about the most powerful exercise or tool that I know of and that I teach my students and my clients. So I learned this exercise from my spiritual life coach instructor who has a much longer version but I rewrote it and condensed it, and that's what I give to my students. But I'm going to leave that script down below as much as I'm allowed to. I don't know if there's a restriction on a number of characters you can put in the description below, but I'll put as much as I can down below and you'll get the idea anyway. But you need to, with this exercise, you need to rewrite it so that it really impacts you as an individual. So it's customized, and it will definitely impact you a little bit more powerful when you do customize it. So basically what it is nurturing your own emotional needs. And let's talk about what that means. We grow up, well, as babies, we look to our parents to nurture our emotional needs. And as we get older and become a toddler, that is so important to have that safety net, to feel safe and secure in the world, because the world is scary to a little 2-year-old, But as we grow up, we need to learn how to nurture ourselves. Because when we become adolescent, that is the age when we need to break away from family and learn to become an individual separate from the family and function in the world. Without mom and dad there to nurture your emotional needs, you will look for other people to do that for you, unless you know how to do that for yourself. Now, let's talk about caretakers who take care of their children. They are human, right? Surprise! They are human and they can only do so much. They have to really nurture their own emotional needs. So they only have so much time to give to their children. And even so, you can only give so much, and without being inside the mind of that child, you're really not going to understand or know everything that child needs emotionally. Besides, they need to learn how to do this for themselves. So if we could teach our children to nurture themselves, they won't be growing up and looking to a romantic partner or teacher or friends to nurture their emotional needs. And then when those people, being human as they are, let them down, fall short, then they're going to be upset. They're going to feel abandoned. They're going to feel ignored. They're going to feel, less than good enough. So it's very, very important to teach our children this, and so they can grow up and nurture their own emotional needs and not seek other people to do it for them. Now, as an adult, we can learn how to do this for ourselves now, today. We don't have to continually be let down by other people whom we expect to nurture our emotional needs. And part of that is making us happy. So I've seen in relationships where one person is expecting the other to behave a certain way, and when they don't, they feel abandoned, betrayed, let down, because they equate that person's behavior with nurturing their needs. Okay, so let me give you an example. So say there's a married couple. The husband is working all day, and I know this is stereotypical, but bear with me. The husband is at work all day, and the wife is in an agreement that she will have dinner ready for him when he gets home. No big deal. There's an agreement there. So there's an expectation that the husband will call her if he's late, right? So she doesn't start on dinner too early and then, not be able to keep it warm, or, keep it warm, but it might get soggy, it might, get dried out or whatever. So it's, she wants to wait until, but right before he gets home. So the dinner is hot and it's fresh. So he has to work late, and forgets to call his wife. He's just really busy, forgets to call her. He gets home. Where's my dinner? Wait a minute. You didn't even call me. What the, you know? So she puts on some sass and attitude, right? And says, you know, what the hell? Call me before you leave, or call me when you know you're going to be late, and then let me know what time you're going to be home, because I really want to get this dinner for you and put it on the table right when you get in the door, so it's ready, it's hot, it's fresh. And so time goes on, and he keeps forgetting, and she is really pissed. She is unhappy. She feels betrayed. She feels less than good enough. She feels that he doesn't care about her feelings and what she's trying to do for him. She doesn't feel appreciated, on and on. If she were to focus more on nurturing her own emotional needs and not needing him to behave a certain way, and I know I'm really simplifying this, and there's a lot more complexity in a relationship than this, but just to get my point across, what she could do is, okay, you know, if you're not going to call me and let me know that you're going to be late, then you cannot expect me to have dinner ready. Just expect to make your own dinner. Easy enough, right? You know, I'm going to eat. You can eat when you get home. Leftovers will be in the fridge. There, you're on your own, okay? So, you know, if he doesn't remember, then, you know, she doesn't, it's an agreement. She doesn't have to get dinner ready for him. She could say, you know, screw you, I'm gonna take care of myself. You take care of yourself, not necessarily screw you, but there can be an agreement that you take care of yourself. And a lot of times that's what Skip and I do during the week, because I get home late sometimes, and I can't, you know, get dinner ready for both of us, but I communicate with them. We communicate really well, and I think that's the key. And really understanding the other person's ego, being compassionate, is really huge. So nurturing your emotional needs is about speaking to yourself, your self-talk, okay? But when you follow the script, it goes in a lot more detail and a lot more depth. For instance, you know, there's a line that says, "I'm so glad you are in the world, little one." So in the blanks, you'll see a bunch of blanks. You put your name. So little Dawn. So I would say little Dawn. So how it starts is I would visualize myself as a little girl, and I would visualize my older, mature, self-mastered, emotionally mature self sitting on a sofa. And I use the sofa because later in the script you get bigger. I touch on teenage years because that is so important to understand what I was going through during my teenage years. So I visualize myself as a school-aged child, and I snuggle up next to my self-mastered, emotionally mature self, and she speaks to me. She says, "I am so glad you are in the world, little Dawn. I'm so glad you are here, and I am here with you. I will never leave you, even though," and this is where you customize it, "even though your father left you to go to Vietnam during the war, I will never leave you." Okay, so I want to do a little caveat here, because I mentioned, you know, my dad going to Vietnam War, and that's true. That happened when I was 2. He did not do that on purpose. He did not abandon us. He had no intentions whatsoever of leaving permanently. It was a temporary thing. But think of a 2-year-old. 2-year-old understand that? I don't think so. A 2-year-old sees abandonment. My daddy left me. You know, am I not good enough for him? Am I not smart enough? Am I not cute enough? Does he not love me enough? Why did he leave? And a 2-year-old doesn't understand that. So I learned abandonment when my father left. Okay, so it's not finding fault. It's not saying he's a bad person for doing that, but it happened, and I learned abandonment. The people will abandon me. Okay, so that is part of the script, and being in a really relaxed meditative state and hearing those words is so powerful. I can't get this message across to you enough. Seriously, it is so powerful. You feel self-confident, you feel loved, you feel safe, you feel like you can do it. It's just an amazing thing that happens inside of you, feeling like, you know, you're not abandoned, you're not all alone. You don't need, and I emphasize need, you don't need anybody to behave any way at all in order for you to feel happy. You can be happy regardless of how people are acting. And that is so important, especially right now. You know, we've got political weirdness crap going on, and a lot of division, and a lot of people who are offended by other people's opinions. And you say something to somebody that they take as insensitive, and now they're upset with you. There's a lot of that right now. And I think if we get into a place of self-love where, you know, you're upset, I can get into a place of compassion. Oh, I'm sorry, I didn't mean to upset you. That's not hard to say. But because people feel so vulnerable right now and so unsafe, I mean, look what's going on in our world. There's a lot to make us feel uncomfortable and unsafe, you know. So anyway, I don't want to get too far into it, but I want you to know that you can experience a tremendous transformation just by doing this exercise. Now, there's still a lot of shadow work that needs to be done, but I will tell you, if you don't do any shadow work at all, you decide, you know, screw this is too hard, and just do this exercise, this would be I don't know, I have no words. It's transformational. It makes me feel so confident in myself, that changes my energy. And it's done the same thing for my clients and my students, in that when they use this, they see that people change the way they treat them. So what I'm trying to say is, as an example, there was a dentist that I had as a client, and she said that she was going through a very difficult divorce, and he was really nasty to her. And she also mentioned that just in the workplace, there's people walking by, they say just insensitive things to her. And she's just, I don't understand this. I try really hard to be nice to people. I try really hard to make people feel comfortable. And for some reason, I feel like they're snipping at me. And her husband found another girl to be with and decided to divorce her, and was just being really ugly to her. After we had worked together for a while, and she'd been using this script that I'm going to give you down below, she said that her next, we had been working for like 3 weeks, 4 weeks, and she said the next time she talked to her husband, he was nice, he was respectful, he was courteous. She was blown away. It was amazing. I'm telling you, what happens is our subconscious programming causes us to give off a vibe, so to speak, and people react to the vibe. So you can be as nice as you want, but if you're hating on yourself and really scared of other people, and just anxiety and just feeling uncomfortable, that vibe's going to go out, and people are going to react to that vibe. So doing this exercise changes your vibe, because it changes how you feel about yourself. Right. So that's pretty much all. This is something you want to work on in your journal. Just really customize the script, and feel it. Really feel it. Get into a meditative state and read it. Read it until you get really good with it and it feels really powerful to you, and then record it and listen to it, especially when you're falling asleep. If you could listen to it then, because we're very receptive when we're falling asleep. So anyway, I'm done. Thank you so much for watching this video, and I hope this exercise will help you change how you feel about yourself. So do something today that makes you feel good and brings you joy. I love you all, and until next time, blessed be.